So this is going to be part 2. Again, we already did part 1, so there is a video for that. This will be part 2 of the notes. We actually ended with this slide on part 1 where I was talking about the house. The house is the part where the audience sits. So you guys actually ended on that one. So I'm going to move on from there to the next slide. So here we go. So remember, only write down what I tell you to write down. The next part is the orchestra pit. So the orchestra pit is typically in the front of the stage and it's sunken down so that your instrumentalists can set up down there and actually accompany or create music for musicals or performances that require music. So the orchestra pit, again, you'll put on the left-hand side of the note, and then on the right-hand side, in productions where live music is required, the orchestra is positioned in front and below the stage in a pit. As you guys can see from the picture, here is the orchestra pit. As you can see, these musicians are a little bit lower, and your performers, they're up on the stage. The reason they lower the orchestra is so that the audience can't see the orchestra, but rather just hear the music so that their attention is more on the performers on the stage, okay? So take a second, add to the notes, orchestra pit on the left-hand side, and then on the right, in productions where live music is required, the orchestra is positioned in front and below the stage in kind of a pit. For those of you that were here on Monday, it was cool. The video we watched, they actually had a hydraulic lift that would lower down when they wanted to have an orchestra pit, but then it would raise up if they wanted to add a bigger section to the front of the stage. I thought that was kind of cool. I'd never seen that before. Do me a favor, guys. Just give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat to let me know when you've been able to type this. Just a little reminder too, when you go to some theaters, the terminology might be a little different in some places. Typically the orchestra pit, they don't change the name of that. But for example, the house, sometimes they call that the auditorium. So sometimes there is different terminology depending on, you know, what theater you happen to go to. Zion, are you all good? Looks like you're still typing. Zion's kind of my person I go to because he's the only one that goes on camera. Hertzai, were you able to open up that doc, bro? I'm hoping. You just click on the word make a copy. Cool. Thank you. Again, guys, for those of you that need the extra support, all of this slide presentation is in Canvas. All right, so moving on from the orchestra pit, the next thing I want to talk about are some stage terms, okay? You guys already know the downstage and upstage, so I actually don't need you to write that out. You guys remember that, you know, downstage, it's because back in the day, they used to have stages that slanted down. So downstage would have been towards the audience. Upstage would have been away from the audience. I don't need you to put those terms down, but the in, out, on, and off, I do need you to put. So when we say in and out, we're referring to any items that we're, you know, we bring in or out with regards to like backdrops or curtains or anything that we lower in or out of a stage. So as you can see, in is when we lower any items from above the stage, which we're going to talk about something called the fly loft today. And then out is when you raise it above the stage, okay? So in is when we lower things onto the stage, which could be like a backdrop. It could be, you know, a curtain. And then out is when we actually raise it up. On and off is simply referred to when an actor walks onto the stage, that's on, and off is when they leave the stage, okay? So I just need you to do the in, out, on, and off on this particular one. And again, that's to kind of support the vocabulary of how we talk. So if I say, so if I tell an actor to come in, that would be wrong to say. I need to say the actor's coming on. If I say in, I'm talking about something being lowered. So it can get a little, it's very important that we know the vocabulary of how we speak to each other in theater. Again, guys, you know the drill. When you're done typing those, can some, you know, just give me a thumbs up, yes in the chat to let me know that you guys have, you were able to type this out. Again, I do not need you to do the downstage and upstage. You already learned that last year. That in and out thing, I'm going to be talking more about that in a second. I know you might be slightly confused right now, but in a second, it'll make a little bit more sense. Again, I want to remind you, please, guys, this is me begging, take these notes because you will be turning them in for points. I'm trying to create easy ways for you guys to get points. You know how I roll. But then inevitably, someone ends up not doing it, and it crushes their grade. Zion, let me know when you're done. You're always the one that I gauge this off of. By the way, Zion, you can just do a thumbs up on your screen because I can see you. Again, we're not going to be utilizing the entire class today to take notes. As a matter of fact, this will probably be the last time I do notes like this in class. But this one is an important part because I need you guys to learn about the various parts of the theater and the stage. Again, I'm going to be so excited when the new theater is built because then I don't have to show pictures. I can actually walk the actors around the stage and go, hey, that's what this is. Just going to give it a couple more beats here. I can see Zion typing away. He's got the focus of a guy taking some serious notes. Good, thank you. I see some thumbs up coming through. All right, good. All right, here we go. So the next part is the fly loft, that coming in and out thing that I was just talking about. Well, that's the fly loft. Okay, that's the area above the stage where curtains and set pieces are stored and hidden during production, and backdrops are also hidden. So believe it or not, the space above a theater stage is the same distance as it is down, so that you can lower things all the way up out of sight of the audience, but then you can lower things when you need them. So the fly loft, again, as you guys can see from this picture, it's the area above the stage where curtains and set pieces are stored and hidden during a production, and then they're either lowered in or out, depending on what's going on in that particular scene. So fly loft on the left-hand side, the area above the stage where curtains and set pieces are stored and hidden during a production. You put that on the right-hand side. Also, lights are hung up there. Lights that we use to, you know, do cool lighting and things to the actors that are on the stage. What's kind of nice is you can lower the lights down when you're changing them out instead of getting on ladders. At the NPR, we actually had to get on ladders to get up to the lights, which can be a little dangerous, especially if people are scared of heights. So the fly loft, again, the area above the stage. It's very important that when you're flying things in and out, that it's well choreographed, because if an actor is standing somewhere where something's getting lowered in, it could injure them by knocking them out, hitting them on top of the head. I saw a few thumbs coming through. Zion looking focused. He must be finishing things up. Awesome. All right. So the fly loft, well, that's the area above the stage, but when you're flying things in and out, you got to use a fly rail, and that is to the side of the stage. It uses either, some of them are like electronic, where you can legitimately push a button and then things get lowered, and then you push a button and things go out, or it's a pulley system. You guys can actually see from this picture, these are ropes. It's kind of a, what we call a counter-weighted system, where weights are used to kind of counterbalance things that need to be flown in and out. So on a fly rail system, a fly system is a system of ropes, counterweights, pulleys, and other such tools designed to allow technical crew to quickly move set pieces and lights on and off the stage quickly by flying them in from a large opening above the stage, known as a fly tower or fly space. I'm going to give you some time on this one. This will be the longest one that you have to type out, guys, but I do need everything on this one. So I'm going to give you a second on this one. Now the fly rail, like I said, it's off to the side of the stage, and that's, you know, you either do it electronically or with these ropes, but that's how you can fly things in and out of the stage. And you need training to work a fly rail. It's more important when it's the pulley system or the counterweight system. The electronic one, not so much. But if you don't weight things properly, things will just fall down onto the stage, and you can have injuries that way. Again, when you guys are done, I know this one's a little bit longer. If you could just, you know, give me the thumbs up or a yes in the chat, that would be spectacular. Awesome. I see some thumbs coming through. Some of you are fast typers. I am not a fast typer. So if you're not a fast typer, don't worry about it. By the way, some of you might choose to handwrite this stuff. I'm cool too. What you can do is when it comes time to turn in the notes, you could just take a picture of it and submit it that way. When for those of you that prefer to handwrite things as compared to typing, whatever your system is fine. But I wanted to make sure to create a way for us to kind of do it in this virtual world that we live in. Again, make sure that you have, if you have not, titled this Google Doc so that when you need to find it later, you can. You can just name it, you know, parts of the theater and types of stages. That way you can find it when you turn it in later. I can see Zion focus. He must be just finishing up the last part of this. By the way, if you need to know what to name it, down here at the bottom, you can see types of stages. That's what you can name the notes. This will be the longest one to type, guys. Sorry about this one. There's no way to shorten it. There was a lot of info on this one. I think there's only a few more slides, so hang in there. Like I said, I tried to break this up. By the way, if you haven't, I might suggest you do a split screen where you have the Google Meet open on one side and the notes opened up on the other side for typing purposes. It might make it quicker. I don't know if some of you are trying to flip back and forth. That's a little counterproductive. It'll take you a little longer to do that. We getting close, Zion? All right. Almost there. All right, I'll probably come back to this one at the very end. I just want to fly on from it. He, he, he. All right, so the next part is the catwalk. So the catwalk is an area above the stage that allows easy access for crew to add and adjust lights and manipulate microphones that help add sound to a performance. So you'll find these catwalks above the stage. Sometimes you even see them above the audience when there's lights that are being, you know, utilized above the audience that are actually focused towards the stage. So the catwalk is typically a little narrow walking space above those areas so that you can adjust lights and aim them towards the parts of the stage that you want to add more lighting and to add microphones to enhance the sound process. So you guys should know what to do by now. Catwalk on the left, and then the area above the stage that allows easy access for crew to add and adjust lights and manipulate the microphones that help add sound to a performance. You'll put that on the right-hand side, and you guys should know by now. Just hit me with the thumbs up or I'm done in the chat once you've had a second to do this. Again, I don't want anybody stressing out. For any of you that feel overwhelmed by how fast I may be going, all of this can be found in Canvas. Also, I'm creating videos. There's actually a video recording right now for those of you that, if you can't quite remember, what you need to type, there'll be videos there to help you afterwards. What I don't want anybody to do is to stress out. But I do want you to make sure you do the notes. I keep saying that. They're going to be worth points. And we are running out of time. I don't know if y'all know, but we only got about 6 weeks till we're done with a semester. Can you believe how fast it's gone? At least for me, it's gone fast. I don't know. Maybe it's gone slow for you guys. Feels like it's just shooting by. So I've seen a couple thumbs up. Just gonna give it a couple more minutes on this one. Take a Diet Pepsi break. Again, you do have the option to handwrite it if you feel better about doing it that way. But I might encourage you to practice some typing, especially those of you going into the college world. You'll need to learn to speed up that typing. Just waiting on you, Zion. Let me know when you're done. I can see the focus on your face. All right, moving on from Catwalk. The next one is the lighting and sound booth. Typically, you'll find the sound booth and the lighting booth out in the house, either behind the house, or sometimes the sound operators like in the middle. That way they can really hear the sound. But the lighting and sound booth, the area at the back of the theater where the light and sound board are located. Obviously, light boards, we can manipulate lights, making them lighter, changing colors. Sound, obviously, there might be sound effects that are being utilized, or just the sound that needs to be, from actors being, having microphones on. Some actors are louder than others, so you got to control those levels. For me, the sound operators always used to hate me because they'd have to turn me way down. I'm pretty loud, but in some theaters, you don't get mic'd at all, so being loud is important. So again, lighting and sound booth on the left-hand side, the area at the back of the theater where the light and soundboard are located. You guys can see from the picture, the stage is right out there in front, tinier, because this booth is all the way at the back of the house. Sometimes, like I said, the sound board is in the middle of the house. Because what they don't want to do is be enclosed in a room where if you're out in the house, you can hear the sound better. You're getting a better perspective of how the audience hears the sound. So you can make adjustments to the levels a lot easier. I know we're getting near the end. I'm thinking maybe a couple more slides. Hang in there. Again, when you're done, just hit me up with the thumbs up or I'm done in the chat. Cool. Thank you. I see some thumbs ups coming through. Good. That one was pretty quick. All righty. Dressing rooms. Rooms where cast members apply wigs, makeup, and change of costumes. You'll typically find the dressing room in the back area of the stage. That's where the actors get prepared. And yes, there is the word wigs for those of you that are noticing that I'm bald. There have been times when I've had to put on a wig for a show. But as you guys can see, there's cool little areas for the actors to sit. Also, the lighting is really bright because they want to get an idea of what they're going to look like when they're on the stage. And if any of you have ever had to put makeup on for the stage, you know that typically you would put way more on than you would put just walking around. I got to be honest, this was probably the one thing about being in theater that I was not a fan of, was putting on makeup. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know how you ladies do it on the regular basis. I don't like how it feels on the skin. But if you don't want to look like a zombie on the stage, you got to have the makeup on. So dressing rooms on the left, rooms where cast members apply wigs, makeup, and change into costumes is on the right. And good, I see some thumbs up coming through. That's good. I know we are so close to the end. I want to say one more slide after this. All right, here we go. The green room. It's an area backstage where actors can relax and hang out as they wait to enter the stage. And typically there's like a monitor where they can, in the green room, where they can see what's going on stage, or some sort of like sound system where they can at least hear what's going on the stage. That's where they hang out before they have to make their entrance on or off a stage. So the green room, and by the way, not all green rooms are green. I think the story goes, just the first area where actors used to relax, the room happened to be green, and that's how the green room thing kind of caught on. But most green rooms are not green. But it's an area backstage where actors can relax and hang out as they wait to enter the stage. So green room on the left, an area backstage where actors can relax on the right. And while you guys are doing this one, I want to take a quick picture of the room so that I can make sure. Actually, I'm going to wait till we're done with this. I believe this, I'm going to check here in a second, but I think this might be the last one, but I'm hoping it is. But I'm going to wait till you guys are done, and then I'll figure it out. Maddie wants to know, do you wear wigs when no one's looking? No. I only wear wigs when I absolutely have to, because the character isn't bald. But I typically try to find characters that are bald or can be bald. It makes it easier. All right, just make sure you give me those thumbs up. Zion, are you all done there? Cool. All right. And I believe that was the last. Let me just make sure. Oh, there's one more. Sorry. Scene shop. This is the space in the theater where set pieces and props are built and painted. Our new theater will have one of these. I'm so excited because we used to have to build and paint things right on the stage, which is not cool because paint and stuff gets everywhere. But a scene shop is just a space typically in the back part of the theater where set pieces and props are built and painted. So scene shop on the left, the space in the theater where set pieces and props are built and painted on the right. And let me see if this is the last one. I'm going to come right back to this. Yep, this is that was the last one. So you guys, when you're done with that, we're going to be done with part 2 of our notes. And then I'm going to actually dismiss you guys a little bit early. But do not leave just yet because I need to take a picture of the room. And that concludes that little part of these notes.